Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the video. I'm GetGoodGuy, and today we'll be continuing with my coverage of the weapon crate update with a review of the Type 38 Arisaka Patrol, a weapon which I've absolutely loved using so far. But before we get into why, keep in mind that this is an early review as the weapon has just been released, so we will likely learn more about and become more comfortable with the Arisaka Patrol as time goes on beyond this review. And also, as stated in my previous weapon crate update review videos, which I'll link to in the description if you haven't seen them yet, we'll be focusing upon the basics of the weapon and my personal opinion more so than usual. This is because Simthic.com, where I and many others usually retrieve the in-depth stats of the BF1 weapons, hasn't yet added the new ones from this update. But today specifically, that doesn't seem like too big a deal, because this is essentially the Type 38 Arisaka that the playbase is used to, but with a scope slapped onto the top of it. There isn't going to be a massive amount of difference between it and the infantry in terms of the key stats. And so, how does this thing perform as a more conventional sniper rifle? Well, it obviously has the same sweet spot and damage model as the infantry variant, which means that the Arisaka Patrol can pick up a one-shot kill to the chest from 30 meters out and up to 62 meters. This sweet spot zone starts at the same range as the Martini Henrys, so anyone used to using that powerhouse will be familiar with where best to use the Arisaka Patrol, although the Martini does continue to hit for a one-shot kill to a bit further out, around 80 meters. And this sweet spot comparison with the Martini may not line up when you look at the in-game range graphs, but this is likely due to the Martini having a higher maximum damage than any other sniper in the game, so it throws these things off a touch when you're looking at them in a line graph. The one-shot kill stats I've listed are according to Simthic and are reliable. And so from this we can deduce that the Arisaka Patrol is a great choice for closer range scout play if you want to utilize a sweet spot and you prefer to use a scope. It in fact comfortably beats out 3 other popular close range scout weapons for the start of its sweet spot range, those being the Lebel, the Ross and the SMLE. Plus on top of that, it has 5 rounds available per reload, so while it doesn't hit as hard as the Martini, it does allow you to get shots off far more quickly, with a overall rate of fire of 57 rounds per minute compared with the Martini's 25. Plus, for bonus points, although the Arisaka Patrol isn't a long range rifle, it does have a pretty decent muzzle velocity of 770 meters per second, so it's actually easier to line up shots at range than with the other rifles I've mentioned so far, and it's actually only 50 meters per second slower than the M1903 sniper, which is designed for long range kills. Beyond this, we should talk about the scope itself, and it comes with the same magnification options as a marksman variant, those being 2.5 times, 3 times, 3.5 times and 4 times. From this, I'm going to assume that there's no glint when aiming down sight with the Arisaka Patrol, as other scout weapons in the game only have a glint with 5 times scopes and above. However, please don't take this as a fact, as I haven't had confirmation that patrol variants also don't have glint, or that the new sweet spot glint doesn't apply to lower zoom variants. It's my assumption, but we'll have to find out for sure as time goes by. Regardless of this, I still don't advise hard scoping for long periods of time. You've seen from much of my gameplay that I try to be unscoped as much as possible most of the time. If you're using a rifle that gives off a glint, then it's obvious why you shouldn't be staying hard scoped for too long. But even without that, it's absolutely a good habit to try to get rid of or reduce, especially with medic rifles being so lethal these days. If you're stood still aiming down sight, they're going to pick you off easily. And as we're talking about scopes, I usually set my magnification to 4 times on marksman variants and 5 times on snipers. This allows me to keep things reasonably consistent from a muscle memory standpoint and allows me to play this close quarter style that I generally enjoy. However, the gameplay you're seeing is of me using a 3 times scope purely because I forgot to check it, and I didn't really have any problems with it, to be honest with you, so I guess you can make of that what you will. I just thought you should know what you're looking at. And so, overall, I really like the Arisaka Patrol. I wanted a scope variant of it as soon as the infantry dropped, so I'm very happy with it, and it will likely be one of my go-to scout choices now, as it just so consistently hits people for one shot at reasonably close range in my experience. It won't be for everyone, of course. If you don't like scoped rifles, then this likely won't change your mind. If you prefer the faster firing models without a sweet spot, then again this likely won't change your mind. And the Ross rifle does provide that fantastic ability to utilize a sweet spot whilst being able to chamber the next round without coming out of your scope, so that will likely remain the rifle of choice for quite a lot of players. But I advise everyone gives the Arisaka Patrol a try just to see if they like it, and anyone that enjoys that up close massive power ability of something like the Martini or the Arisaka infantry in fact may well fall in love with this weapon. Plus it looks awesome with the Mari skin I've got on it. But this is all just my opinion. What do you think? Are you excited for the Type 38 Arisaka Patrol? Do you already use the infantry variant, and which scout weapon is your current favourite? Let me know in the comment section below. Now let's go over to the Board of Awesome for the fantastic people who allow you to get content from me full time by supporting the channel on Patreon. Without this support from you guys, I really wouldn't be able to produce this much, as I'd need to make money elsewhere. So thank you for making this whole thing possible. If you want to join them on the Board of Awesome, then the link to the Patreon page is in the description and in my pinned comment. I hope you enjoyed the video. Remember to turn on post notifications with the bell button so you don't miss future videos, including the rest of the Weapon Crate Update reviews, and feel free to like, share, and subscribe. I'm GetGoodGuy, and I'll see you next time. Laters.